thoughts are auditioning for your attention and something is used to going with them, it's as though it's distracting your attention from resting in your everlastingness. You're the sky, the clouds are passing. Is the sky worried? Oh, some big clouds are coming now. Oh, they are going to affect my sky, my infiniteness. No, let them come and go. It's only clouds. You are the awareness itself and not the one trying to become aware. It will take a while to assimilate that to the point where it becomes your natural state and natural experience. Why? Because for so long, our personal culture has been to identify with the seeker, the journeyer, which itself is adopted by consciousness that we play that role for a while until you evolve beyond that state of identity. If I say, keep trying to be the awareness, it might be useful for many people in the beginning, but it is not a final truth. It must come to a point where that one itself is recognized as apparent or phenomenal, watched from the place of the awareness itself. Do you follow this or not? And the seeker's practice is bringing the seeker more and more closer to awareness. But because awareness is the root of all things, it cannot be a destination separate from the seeker, except through the mind it appears like that. You see, it's important that if we understood this experientially and directly, it's worth 1,000 pints. What I mean by that is that if this is not understood, it will mean that you are going to do much, much more work in the role of the seeker, not understanding, not grasping that the seeker itself is a conceptual construct. Does that make sense? The moment you understood this, it's as though there's some shift in your perspective. Rather than aiming at awareness, you cannot aim from awareness. You are the awareness itself. That leads to final understanding. Final understanding meaning that you are no more so much on a journey of evolving towards a goal, which eventually you will come to see you are the goal itself. Now, we may not be at a place where we can really resonate with what I'm saying now, and that we may feel it doesn't connect with me. The feeling of seeking and of the person or personality being an obstacle is still very virile for me, very strong. Please help me to get these things out the way so I can come more close to. So that is going to continue for many people for a while. It is okay, because we must somehow move in accordance with our present capacity, you may say like that. However, it is still important that it is stressed again and again. You are already what you are searching for. These things, because of their total simplicity, appear to be the most difficult thing to grasp. Maybe because of its simplicity, and if you're using the mind is already prepared for complexity. So it cannot accept the simplicity of this yet. Maturity is to be mature enough to grasp the obvious and the most simple. The great Saint Francis, everybody I'm sure have heard of Saint Francis of Assisi, he said something very much in this way, a very powerful thing. He say, what you are searching for is already the place you're searching from. What you are looking for is already the place you're looking from. Now, some people go, whoa, 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 take it easy. That's messing with my head. No, 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 no. What are you speaking about? But gradually, with understanding, maybe with your own sadhana or spiritual practice, the obviousness of what this statement implies becomes natural for you. Rumi himself, the great poet saint, he said one statement, and I have said it many times because I find it very powerful. He said in one of his utterances, he said, knocking at a door, it suddenly opens. I have been knocking from inside. No? He said, knocking at the door, it opens. I have been knocking from inside. And when reflected upon, it means that I was always inside, but I imagined I was outside. So I was knocking, please let me in. And this please let me in was very important. This is the seeking. This is the desire. I want to be home. Then the door opens. Why door opens if you're already inside? The door has to open to show you you are already inside. When the door opens, you realize, I've been knocking at my own door. These utterances, they are very, very profound for the one who is seeking. Because the mind, when you're seeking with the mind, it will not easily or readily accept that you're home. You see? And for that reason, consciousness designed all that play, that we had to taste all of this diversity and even the states of confusion, of distractedness, of delusions. All of this is the play of consciousness. And it is a kind of grace in it also, that we will not immediately grasp the obvious. So something is only obvious when it is obvious. Huh? A thing can be there all the time, you don't realize. The moment you realize, you go, wow, look at that. But until you do, it will seem like a mystery. It will feel like you're separate from it. So satsang's here is for that reason only, to reveal the obvious in ourselves. Why? Because we picked up so many ideas about this life and who we are in life. And everyone feels we are on the journey. Why everybody feels we are on this journey? And nothing is wrong with that. Consciousness devised that. But somewhere along the line, people are waking up to this sense of a journey, that however long the journey is, something witnesses all the travels, all the mistakes, all the cul-de-sacs. Something has been watching all along, and that something watching is yourself, but you never realized it. You see? So that's what I wanted to pick up on. Then you spoke a little bit about, as you have been more resting in the awareness, you are noticing certain kind of mystical things happening and so on like that. And of course, the mind seemed to be attracted to that. But for the jnani, for one who has really woken up to the truth of these things we call mystical, they're not even interested in that. Having reached the pure, unmixed state, their essential nature is no more feeling a distance. All other things, thoughts and feelings and ideas and projections and spiritual fantasies, is a bit like writing on water. They don't leave any trace for them. And so their being is not disturbed by these things. It's not looking for mystical entertainment. It has already resolved itself in its own source. Otherwise, these things will catch you, you see. We want to see some Siddhic power and you can It can happen, it may happen, and it's also, you may say, an expression or gift of consciousness, but don't go looking for it. The minute you start to look for these things, you create divisions within yourself. If they come, let them come. They go, let them go. You have discovered the thing that cannot come and cannot go. That is what the self is. Somehow you may find that also, as the consciousness somehow is blossoming inside, your behavior can seem out of character sometimes. No? Laughing, but there's no joke. And crying, immediately also. Sometime like this. Crying, but there's no sadness. And even in the midst of the most vigorous laughter, the most dynamic crying, there's a silence there also. Have you not noticed? There's an emptiness, a neutrality, and it's like, wow. There's no story even. It is like the beingness is just adjusting itself, So laughing, crying. And there's a joy in it also. Many people, they find that they need space for this expression and it's just coming out. But don't go too far with it. It is good if you regard it or perceive all of this in a kind of neutrality. Don't think anything, because otherwise the mind will itself want to say, this is a sign of your spirituality, you see? Yeah. And, this is your mystical revelation and things like this. Some people then they start to go in public, and they gather people around. It's nothing at all. Just clouds passing. For you, there is no history and there is no mystery for you. You cannot place yourself in any shape at all. You are becoming shapeless again. You may watch all these things. You may say, oh, how amazing, Look what the body is doing now. A kind of spontaneity returns to you, and it's beautiful, you see. So the tendency to want to plan your existence, it begins to loosen up and fall away. You're living more in the natural unfolding of consciousness expression. So you're in a harmony field. So, yeah, you see? We will feel like something is obscuring awareness when we are holding on to personal identity, which naturally strengthens the sense of duality and the feeling of separation in us. It's very important. I like to slow down to speak these things more slowly so that we really have a chance to grasp the importance of them. We don't need to speak so much. It's not necessary. If what you hope to find and to discover is your natural state, to recognize the simplicity, the ever-presentness of it, the undilutedness of it, the immutability of it, you see? So it appears as though the awareness is obscured. And many people will feel, yes, this is my experience also. But I am so excited to want to show you that it's not true, you see. Even to say the awareness is obscured, there must be some awareness that is saying that, causing that to be said.
Recognize, understand that you're aware.
At some point, it's going to become clear for you this sense of a choice of remaining in awareness or not is also illusory. Okay. Awareness, like space. Space is always space. It is never, if you confuse the wind with the space, then you see it will create this kind of thing. Awareness, nothing can appear to be or to even appear to disappear without awareness. You're conscious of all these things. The most direct thing I could do is to ask you straight away, what if for few moments you could just drop all this thing just for a moment? No? Just drop all this thing. Don't hold any idea about what you think you need to do in order to reach this stage of Jivan Mukti or.
Yeah.
Just leave all this for a moment. Can we do this just now?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
So all the ideas you have about, these things that you may have read or been told or whatever, believe even,
Yeah.
just for a minute, just leave them aside for a minute. Just totally be empty of them. It's possible?
This,
Yeah.
one can try.
No, do.
Yeah.
No, you can leave all the
Try,
things.
try and do.
If you intend to try, you may fail. If you say, okay, you can drop it for a moment. Just leave it for a moment. It's possible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just drop everything for a moment. The reason why I'm asking you is that unless you do that, or until you do that, your inner space is occupied with certain concepts that you will continue to cherish or to nurture or to believe, and then you have to act on them to try and fulfill their intention or something. No? So I say, for a moment, leave everything. And the reason why I ask you this is because I feel it is simple to do that. If you were able to leave everything aside, just leave everything aside. Huh? Be totally empty for a moment or so. Even beyond the concept of being empty, just leave it. It's possible, no? Yeah. Then pay attention only to what is here, what remains, that cannot be taken out. By itself, it is already here. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
What is it that is here? Take a moment. If you do, and anyone can do this, it's not a personal thing to him, it's to anybody, actually. Simply just leave it, I like when people come and they say, Mooji, I don't have any time. I say, if you don't have any time, you don't have any time to waste. Then you may be given the simplest and the highest pointing, because you're not going to spend time deliberating about it and philosophizing about it. So this, I'm going to try. It's a shot. Leave everything alone, including your background or spirituality and your study. Leave everything.
Yeah.
And I ask you, now what remains here by itself in this space?
Nothing.
First of all, just be with it before you give me the answer. It means it must be something that you did not put there, you did not create, so therefore it requires no effort to sustain it. What just is? Huh? Pay attention to just what is there. Not personal, just what is there.
Yeah.
What
Nothing.
you find?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Because I've thrown everything out.
Yes, okay. Now, just rest in that nothing. Because the mind, you see, is going to come first, he's going to come. And he's going to start to fill your nothingness with some suggestions. Like, okay, so I've done it, so what? So, not that. What is really here by itself? Is it a state of need? Pay attention to it. What remains if you are not engaged with any concept or intention, even the intention to become awake? Forget about it for a moment. What is here now? If you're not holding on to any story or self-definition, simple thing. Are you straining or training? What is here? Is it personal?
No.
Don't accept anything from the mind, because it is the first one to raise some judgment, to tell you, okay, you've done it now, okay, see, you can always come back to this and all. Don't let anything of that come. Stay empty and just pay attention. What is here? Don't create. Don't imagine. Just notice. Don't judge. Because from the mind will come something like, yes, but how can I live like this? Don't worry about that. Don't touch nothing. Because of this response that comes from the mind and from conditioning, everyone abandons this. And by not being aware of the simplicity of being, you leave that and you start on the journey of becoming. And we're always becoming, paying no attention to being, just what is. Mind start to say, yeah, but how can I do it? No, there's no I there. Where is the I even? If you leave all things. Someone is going to grasp what I'm speaking. Where does it end? Is it a disappointing discovery simply just to be here? Is something going, okay, enough, okay, enough, but can I get back to the question? No, just this. Is it unbearable? Is it unbearable, this emptiness? Because mind say, no, but I want knowledge. Knowledge cannot bring you to this. Knowledge will bring you to something else. Are you not here? Are you half here? So now what comes? What come? Can this, whatever it is that is here, did you create it? Can anything remove it? Does it have a start? Can it stop? Are these words relevant to this? I am going there to tell you that because mind is going to come to distract, to see if we can distract your attention. Why? Because this is the most pure of all. It's not even a state. It is not even a state. States also come and go and are perceived in this to come and go. But your mind has not given you the chance, the break to even recognize the significance of this. It wants to send you on another journey. If you do this and do that first, you'll be able to stabilize in this. How are you stabilizing in this now? So this is my whoosh satsang. My mind wants to learn more about, Parabrahman and, all these things. Yes, there's a time for that. In fact, you can discover this, what I'm showing you now, and all these other things you can learn later. It will reveal them if you need to know them. But they're not necessary to fill your head with all that stuff if just to come here. This is the environment, the natural environment of the sage's mind, if you want to say like that. But our conditioned identity opposes it. Your carnal identity is restless and it resists this. And as long as it is allowed to resist this, to that extent, freedom is kept apart from you. It's simple like this. We all got dressed up to make a journey and found there's no journey to make. And some are disappointed. They got their GPS ready to go. And I said, but what about here? Before you make one step also, if one step, two step is also watched, to go where? Your highest meditation, your highest spiritual projection is to go where? If it's other than here. Just be honest about it, then you can relate and tell me, oh, I don't see how that is significant. Where is this and where? I will show you then. But is it acceptable for you? You see? In the beginning, you may feel, but how can one stay like this? Because the mind, this is all thought. Look, you stay like this is a natural response because the reflex is to go back to duality state of the someone who is trying to get here. So if there is a practice, it is looking at this sense that, oh, I lost it, and to see, is that a truth? And who lost what? Except as an idea, you see. If you are in satsang, and this is the reminding you need at the at what I would call an advanced stage. Maybe I should not use this word. I should say maybe at the simplest. The highest is the simplest, most natural. The more complex and complicated means that you are in love with journeys and with concepts. They will not bring you to here. It is like you are not yet ready to be yourself. The adventure of becoming is too enticing. You cannot accept, you see. And I'm not speaking about the egoic identity. Once this is clear for you, that even at a certain point, the effort to be here is also an idea arising in the ever-present here-ness. It just becomes more and more clear. And differing concepts and ideas will keep coming in. That will become, perhaps you can say, your sadhana, to keep looking and say, but is that this invitation to do something more, is it true or is it amounting to a kind of distraction again? I am already here. Am I 90% here, 80% here? What it means here, you see. And who is the I that is here even? So this is, I would say, the contemplations, you may say, of those who have come to that recognition of ultimate consciousness. It's not necessary to use even the word ultimate consciousness because the mind is waiting. Aha, ultimate consciousness, I got it. You see? The one who is sincere at a certain point, they don't need the words anymore. Even the term Brahman and, Nirgun Brahman and Sagun Brahman and, consciousness and the self and the mind and you and this and the world. It's nothing at all at a certain point. But maybe there's a fear in us of attaining that level of clarity because the mind said, then what then? Then what you're going to do? And you think, oh my God, I'm attached to doing more than to simply being. You cannot be attached to being. You are a being. This is why, when we agreed to, we will have some satsangs, in the moment they say, what should we not put a little saying on the leaflet, Baba? They say, yes, enough seeking, now find. Enough seeking, now find. Because seeking, very appealing. Every kind of seeking is appealing. But where's the finding? What can you discover? What is ultimate discovery? Should we not think like that? You're on a journey. Where are you going? In the highest sadhana, the highest practice, what do you hope to find? Now, in the morning, I say we play invitation, so you can simply listen. The invitation is like listening, like a listening mirror. And it is reflecting back inside your own consciousness the obviousness of what is to you. And the psychological mind play will keep on putting up things to, yes, but, yeah, but, no, but. Yeah? And something is accustomed to giving attention to that. And so the attention is drawn away, so to speak. This is something that you must transcend. There's good news everywhere, good news. Because it's not like, oh, you know. I told a story one day, one of the girls from Satsang, they went to the park. She was walking in the park, local park, and she sees one girl there, and she's attracted to this girl. This girl looks like she's from some religious community or something, and the girl is very, very happy. So one of these Satsang girls, they approach and say, hi, how are you? And they say, oh, I'm fine. Say, is it your birthday? You seem really, really happy, so radiant. The lady said to her, actually, I'm very happy today because I heard from my Guruji, I only have 5 more lives to live. Sorry? I only have 5 more lives to live. So Satsang girl say, 5 more lives to wait. And she's so happy, so happy. She said, but if I'm told I have to wait 5 hours, it's too much for me now. It's already too late. Something has entered my heart. I can't postpone what I have been shown. This is the different temperament and different ways of thinking in individuality. This is what it is there. It will become for some people unbearable to be still living in the delusion of ego or personhood. At a certain point, you're outgrowing all these things.
I said there were gaps.
Yes.
It was a chasm, not just small gaps.
Yes. But from where you are now, if you followed what I say,
Yeah.
gaps or chasms, what is it for you?
Yeah. So no, what I meant was, what I meant by chasm was, the lack of understanding was so great
Yes.
that I had to come
Yes.
back again
Yes.
today.
And now?
I think I've now got it.
Which means what?
Which means, firstly, that the isness is the target, is the goal. And that is easily achievable.
Yeah. Where is the isness? Show me which direction I must go. Then how much distance then?
Sorry, how much?
How much distance to cover to be in this
Distance covered?
isness, or what is?
0.
Zero. This is what I say. When the population count is made, you will be 0. You stay 0. Of course, the mind doesn't like 0. Oh. But you know what I mean by that. Huh? In 0, all your functions happening. In fact, your actions, reactions, interactions are happening spontaneously in that immense knowingness, which is not personal. You're watching in full bliss of. Something feels, yes, I see it, but it's not stable enough. Huh? It's not stable. Okay? What is observing and also declaring that is not stable. That which sees something is stable or not stable, that which sees that, is that itself stable? This is when the noise comes. Noise is going to come. Why? Because it will appear as though this I cannot allow you to get. The mind is saying, I don't want you to get this, because if you get this, you will not need me. Say, sorry, I can't hear you. It's how your mind will be.
So,
So I repeat again, no? That which says it is not stable, that understanding is not stable, you see? What can evaluate stability or instability? That which is looking, what is that? That voice also, is it the ultimate seer? And what is even aware of that voice and that comment? Isn't there awareness also even of that? Because this question now is burning every question it will be. If you follow, if you're able to follow, then this question is going to burn every other. Is going to show you where you actually are and where you have always been. But something is looking and thinking, yeah, but this thing is going, and that, is trying to play. It's like the thoughts are auditioning for your attention. No. And something is used to going with them. It's as though it's distracting your attention from resting in your everlastingness. You're the sky. The clouds are passing. Is the sky worried? Oh, some big clouds are coming now. Oh, they are going to affect my sky, my infiniteness. No, let them come and go. It's only clouds. Developed a relationship and a strong trust towards the mind, and particularly to our I identity. So, of course, with the strength of that identity, yes, it will keep on reminding you of seeming failures before and how difficult it is to cross over. All of this is dream. You are here. What is really here? Awareness itself. Awareness, when it expresses in a dynamic way, you may say it's the dynamic consciousness or the sense of the experiencer, the witness to all of this. But even the witness, although it is a much more elevated state than the ego, because the ego behavior is also weakness. The witness, once you come to the place where you're observing, like I said, I think it was yesterday, the second bird position, where you're simply observing, even the activity happening in the same body is watched from a silent place in you. Once you discover this silent observing place, already you are feeling happy and joy, lightness of being. You feel, oh, I'm out of the trap. The ego noise still come, but you are always somehow the one who witnesses it. So that's already an elevation of consciousness. Then even more than this witness itself is also become at some point phenomenal to a deeper seeing. When and where is it, this deeper seeing? It is right here. It is your most stable place. What is it doing? What is its job? What is the job of the pure consciousness? It just is. And your dynamic existence will carry the fragrance of that understanding, which is love and peace and joy, and compassion, harmony, wisdom. This is the perfume of that.
Somehow there is a feeling that I can't do this.
There's a feeling that I can't do it.
No, I
Yes.
can't.
And the I is which one that can't do it or can do it? Which identify it. The sense I is arising now, and it's saying, I can't do this. I can't do this. And we all know it. At some point, This I feeling has come and say, I can't, I'm sorry, I can't do this, I need help. And help comes also for this I. The I, in any form that it comes, is an aspect of consciousness. Either an aspect of consciousness that's strongly identified with personhood, it is still the child of consciousness, and if it says, please help me, consciousness will take the form of the helper and help it to elevate to a higher state of consciousness. But here now, right now, you say, I just, something is saying, I can't do this. Okay? But right there in the same place where this feeling, I can't do this, is arising, is one who is aware of that feeling appearing also. Is this one got anything to do? Do you follow or not? Right in the same place where the feeling is coming, I can't do this. And those words, those thoughts, are presently believed and identified with, I can't do this. I can't focus, my attention just goes everywhere. My attention is drifting away. And I say, whoa, nothing lost. You are still the one who is aware of attention drifting away. You are subtler than attention. You are even the weakness of attention and even inattention. Then somehow, you're imagining that you're being swept away. You are the witness of what comes and what goes. If you are what comes and what goes, then when they go, you will also be gone. But you are here to say, now, it's gone. You never moved as awareness. You simply need to grasp this. We are identifying with the phenomenon of coming and going, with thoughts, the I thought, the I concept. All that we hear in Satsang, and you have read, this is what Sri Ramana Maharshi is also pointing, the same thing. This I feeling, this I concept, this I is consciousness. Only that I which is of the form of pure consciousness is the true I, and no other use of I. Every other use of I is associated with the body-mind functioning and is somehow attached to the play of life and death and coming and going. You are the witness of all of this thing. Of course, your mind, the mind itself, the psychological, personalized mind play, for a while, is going to attack this understanding. That's what's keeping us on this earth all the time. This faithfulness, a loyalty to an identity which itself is not permanent. We are clutching at our personal identity, which is also a cloud passing. And because we are like this, again, you are coming again and again into more cloud bodies, cloudy thinking. And I'm telling you, just watch all of that and see the proof of it. It is nothing. Now a certain kind of thought comes, it's troubling your mind. You see, why? Because you pay attention to it. For you, this thought is important. For another one, it's nothing at all. But because you give it so much importance, it has an impact upon your being. If you stay as the formless witness, you will see that the impact of certain concepts dries up for you. Should I speak with more form? Because it's more tangible and easy for the mind. Does the mind want a little doggy biscuit to say, at least now you give me something? Or do you feel, taking something? Yeah, what can be taken, let it go. Because what you are cannot be taken. It cannot be lost. Take that risk. Take that risk of seeing. This is what happens in the invitation also. It allows you to see all the things you're holding on to, keep you like octopus holding on to so many things, and you are the ocean itself. And the mind, in its personal loyalty to personhood, appears to be, it cannot even say the mind is afraid. The mind, it doesn't really exist, It appears. And you, who are the real existence, are temporarily under hypnosis in believing that you are this person. So satsang is you're taking a risk. What is the risk? The risk is to wake up to the truth. What other risk is there? That you can be destroyed? Whatever can be destroyed is not you.
That's why I've come here, to take the risk and to be destroyed. Please, I need your help now that I've got the opportunity to be in front of you. I want you to help me finish this completely, so I don't go back the same what I came here for.
Anything that is identified with phenomenon, the identification, I am this person, I'm a woman, I'm a man, and so on, it is totally natural, it's totally understandable, it's just totally acceptable for a certain duration and a stage of consciousness. But as you are, your consciousness is becoming more refined, more understanding, as your mind is accepting the energy field of satsang, all this is dissolving. All these rigid, stagnant concepts, they are melting away. They are melting away. Something cannot melt away. That is only being revealed, only being discovered. As long as the strength is there in personal identity, the feeling that there is something to be done or to undo will persist in you. Watch that feeling. Why I say watch? Because your capacity to observe is hinting at your power. You are the witness of all of these things. You say just now, help me to wake up from this. What was your word you used?
Just to end everything and be destroyed. And
It's not just to end, but to see. In clear seeing, clear understanding, there's not even anything to destroy. It's only about ending ignorance, that's all. Nothing to kill. You're just seeing with the true eyes. We put so much importance on the things that are seen. Don't try to unsee them or to close your eyes to them. No. But I'm only pointing that the awareness that you are trying to reach is already the awareness that I'm speaking to.
it is definitely seen that way, but then there is no power or no energy here to just ignore that, is what I'm trying
To ignore what?
to ignore whatever is phenomenal or to the mind. Just now you told about to not pay so much attention to the mind. That's something caught here again. So
If you are paying attention to yourself, I don't even have to tell you don't pay attention to your mind. You see, naturally you'll feel less and less attracted to the mind flow. If you are aware of yourself, when I say aware, did you listen to an invitation today?
I slept.
And what happened?
I slept.
You slept?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
time this happens. To
For
me.
the ego, the invitation is the biggest sleeping pill. Because it doesn't want to listen. I see it. I see this thing. That when it comes to the things, to hear something that might be really relevant to you, that can cut the ignorance, somehow sleep comes. See people. Some insomniacs, they come to satsang to sleep. They come and Om Namaste. what happens, it's amazing to see. Like somehow the mind is wired not to listen to something that will reveal your true nature. It is a stage that you will overcome. You have to overcome it. And why? Because grace brought you here for that. For not less than that. When you look in the mirror, does it only show you your nose? You want to see more, put more money. No, you look, everything is available. And when you are looking as the consciousness, everything is visible, but nothing is so attractive, The attraction is your own, not your own personal. There's nothing personal about it. When I say you, it's something very universal about that. But we cling to the sense of the personal because it feels so familiar, you see.
So what is going to be? So how is it going to be? That question is, I'm going to be here for another 2 more days till Sunday.
Yeah, how are you now? Don't pay attention to 1 second ahead or behind. Yeah? Because you say, I have 2 more days. Don't even give yourself 2 days. Don't even say, oh yeah, but I only have 2 days. How are you now? Don't touch 1 moment of projection or past, and pay attention only to what is here now. Otherwise, you can observe the lethargicness and the resistance of your own mind.
I can see that.
And you think that that is important. That the mind is resistant to this is not important. It's only because you believe in the mind's resistance that you are affected by it. The mind stuff is, don't want to go, so what? So what? You have to sometimes overlook him. Otherwise, every little thing he says in your mouth, you start to believe.
So if I say, I need your grace for that, will that also be a mind trick again, so that I cling to that?
You can exist without this psychological mind, but it cannot exist without you. Judge which is the greater. You're always you. Mind only takes a ride on our ignorance.
Even though it's seen very clearly, why is it I'm still giving so much attention to mind? I mean, I know it's not true, but
Habit.
Habit.
And the one giving attention to mind is also connected with mind also. That's a freebie, that's a really good one. The one who is feeling troubled by the mind is also, don't trouble with that one either. Can you go that step? The one who is saying, oh, my mind just keeps troubling me. This one is also trouble. Again, I tell you, the one who is saying, please help me because my mind is causing so much trouble. This one itself is also trouble. Leave this one also. Now you can do it. At least recognize this. The one who is complaining about the mind is a complainer. Is that your true state? And it's not your true state. Stop identifying, because this one is always going to need medicine. And the medicine for this one is to get rid of him. Is it hard, the things I'm speaking? Is it so difficult? It can only reveal that there is some attachment to the identity that is then creating the feeling of separation and pain, and we are holding on to this pain identity. Also see that that is also not what you are. That may feel like a risk. You say, well, if I'm not that, then what am I? Why don't find out? But you have to be persistent with it also. Don't just expect me to and finish. Okay, thank you, you go. No. Hear this, see it, feel it, and watch how the mind will come to invite you back into more noise and more duality. Watch that, but you don't have to obey that. You're watching that. Stay only witnessing that, but also witness the weakness itself. And the mind stuff is not there.
That's where I get confused about when you say witness the witness. So probably I'm not sure if I'm doing that or the mind is involved
You
here.
want to be something. You want to be something. Even the confusion don't mean nothing. Now I understand, now I don't. It don't mean nothing. Nothing at all. All this is monkey food. It's nothing at all. Yourself doesn't need any favors from your mind. You are believing these things. Soon you will not believe them and they will lose their power. You believe that your mind is troubling you and this and the belief, you're suffering from the belief in it. This is direct, you see. In a few moments, we'll all be leaving and going here and there. You may feel the movement of mind and thought, but it's only a movement inside the greater space of yourself, which is unmoving. Pay attention to that. Both you will be aware of. The movement of the body-mind, it is natural. Don't fight with that. But it is appearing inside a greater space, an infinite space of your own self. And that cannot go. For a long time it might have appeared to be hidden because so much attention is given to the movements in the mind and so on. Now you will be aware. Thought activity, feelings, sensations, they can come and go. Don't try to suppress them or to force them on. Let them move. Just like the clouds, they're moving. You're like the sky, unchanging. This is not something you will do or create. Only notice it. Acknowledge it. Love it. Enjoy. Be.